like to talk about Shostakovich a little bit because I've been rehearsing the Ninth Symphony of Shostakovich with the Siam Sinfonietta with our young people. And I want to say that I had a bit of a breakthrough in my own conception of this work, because I've always thought of the Ninth as this romp where he takes the style of Haydn and reinvents it for the 20th century, full of capriciousness and strange little quirks and funny little jokes. Shostakovich's Ninth Symphony was written to celebrate the victory of Russia over the Nazis, and that when this symphony was played, Joseph Stalin wasn't terribly happy because the symphony was simply too much fun, too jolly for such a serious subject. Why wasn't it grandiose and dramatic like the Leningrad Symphony, for example? So offended was Joseph Stalin by Shostakovich's Ninth Symphony that it ended up getting banned, and Shostakovich himself became sort of persona non grata for quite a while after that, and was only rehabilitated years later. When I was going through the second movement, I began to understand that there's levels of Shostakovich's protest. Here's this clarinet solo, extremely erotic in nature. It's sinuous, it's sensuous, and then it descends into the chalumeau register, which is the most sexy part of the clarinet. This low, teasing, rich sound, like a chocolate lava, as it reaches the very lowest notes of this register. The strings begin to move. Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, and it occurred to me that this was very much like the awakening of a very beautiful woman or love object, that the clarinet was sort of teasing and teasing. Somebody was awakening and awakening and awakening to the incredible throes of passion. The passion seems to grow and grow, and then we hear this oboe shrieking at the top of its register at a moment that is so obviously an erotic climax, and yet the notes that the oboe plays are a little bit too high, a little bit constrained or forced, and then these notes are supremely beautiful and supremely agonizing at the same time. It's a shriek of both joy and terrible pain. I had this vision. What if this was a kind of metaphor for the revolution? What if the teasing clarinet phrases, the erotic arousal, what if these phrases were sort of like the promises made by Marxism? What if the love was awakened just as it was awakened in the revolution? And what if this love slowly turned into tyranny and outrage, and this screaming sound is actually the idea of Shostakovich saying to Joseph Stalin, "Why are you raping Russia?" Suddenly this movement became something very, very dark to me when I saw this vision. And most people would have heard the beautiful part and maybe not the dark undercurrent. Perhaps, however, Joseph Stalin heard it. He was no fool, after all, and he was paranoid. When you're living in a repressive society, often music is the only way to protest. In this movement, there's this exquisite intermingling of sexuality and politics. It's subversive, it's frightening, and it's subtle, and at the same time, it's exquisitely beautiful. I came to love Shostakovich quite late in life. And perhaps what I'm saying is something that everybody has already seen. Um, if so, all I can say is that we all have to make our own journey towards understanding what music says and what it says to us individually as artists and what we need to bring out of this music. But all I can say is, once I told the orchestra what I was thinking, they played it that way, and it was absolutely spine-tingling.